The analogy, for example, between African Americans and Israeli Arabs is a completely faulty analogy. I mean, it's analogous in the sense that they are both populations that have not received their due. It's analogous in the sense that the majority population ought to do more to foster the flourishing of those two populations. That's all well and true and good. But to go back to my previous analogy, that's sort of where the similarity ends. Because African Americans are every bit as core to the purpose and centrality of this country as I am or you are. I'm leaving out the fact now that I don't live in Israel, I'm an American anymore, but I'm an American citizen. Right? So all those years that I lived here, I was no more core to America because I was white than they are because they're black. We're all American citizens. It was no more about me than it is about them. And if history had made it one way or the other, that's just a horrible thing that needed to be corrected. Israeli Arabs, it seems to me, are not the same thing. So for example, when I speak to my Israeli Arab friends who tell me how much they resent the fact that the Israeli national anthem says, among its first lines, Nefesh Yehudi Humiyah, a Jewish soul yearns. Do I understand why that is uncomfortable for them? 100%. Do I understand the conundrum of if one day an Israeli Arab were to win a gold medal at the Olympics? I mean, it'd be amazing if an Israeli won a gold medal at the Olympics. But let's dream even bigger. An Israeli Arab won a gold medal at the Olympics. Do I understand the conundrum of him or her not wanting to stand on that top box and mouth the words of Nefesh Yehudi Homiyah? I totally get it. Do I understand why they're a little bit less emphatic about this, but still, the flag has a Jewish star smack in the middle of the flag, and it was designed intentionally to look like a talit. Do I understand when they say to me, why should I live in El-Fahim, or I live in Beit Safafa. Why should I have a flag that has a Jewish star in the middle of it, any more than you would want as an American to have an American flag with a cross in the middle of it? I get that. I completely understand it. But you ask me, am I open to changing the words of Hatikva? Not for one split second. And do I want to change the flag? Not for one split second. I am prepared to say that that is a kind of cognitive dissonance with which I am prepared to live. And it's a cognitive dissonance with which I am prepared to ask them to live. And I'm pointing to the edgy examples here, not all the obvious things, that their infrastructure should be as good as in Arab villages as it should be in Jewish villages, and we should spend as much per capita on Arab kids in public schools as we do on Jewish kids in public schools, and that there should be actual, equal opportunity. And that goes without saying. That's the easy stuff. I want to point to the places where we rub up against our competing values. Now, therefore, the first thing I think we ought to dispense with is our notion that just like we, Jewish, liberally inclined, I don't mean liberal in terms of Democratic versus Republican, but liberal in terms of our conception of society, everybody getting a fair shake and so on and so forth, just like most of us, I think, believe that we made tremendous and long overdue progress with African Americans and hope that we'll make even more in coming decades, it's not simply copy-paste and put that into the same situation with Israel.